Welcome to the Brave Little Podcast, coming from Dallas, Texas, Los Angeles, and Sacramento, California. Here's Skylar Teo, Aaron Alvarado, and David Stauffer.
Welcome to the Brave Little Podcast.
Here
Here to talk about the Big Sick. We got Skylar in Dallas and Aaron in Los Angeles.
Hey.
You guys ready for the Ray Renaissance?
Yeah, I'm just glad that he didn't Kumail in his performance.
Boo. Actually, that's pretty good. I like that. I take back my boo. I like that a lot.
Oh, guys, how much better is Kumail on screen than Kumail on Twitter?
He's 100 times better.
Yeah, I don't think that there's a number big enough to represent how much better he is on screen than on Twitter.
Guys, he's legitimately good in the Big Sick.
He is excellent.
Yeah.
He is, I mean, he carried a movie. He is the star of a movie, and he carried it.
Now, so we're going to get into this. We're going to talk about The Big Sick. It's 97% in Rotten Tomatoes. It's a film that I think all three of us enjoyed. I mean, I don't want to speak for all three of you. We'll talk about what varying levels at which we enjoyed this film. Excuse me. I'll just say at the outset, I think 97 is a bit high, but I still like this movie for it being a very conventional and very, very long rom-com. But before we get into the nuts and bolts of what we thought of The Big Sick and the performances, I have a question for you two, okay? It's controversial, and I hope that your wives don't listen to the pod. I'm almost certain they don't. But if you were casting a movie about the your love story of meeting and the courtship with your respective wives, who are you casting as your wife?
I'll go first. Zoe Kazan.
Yeah. Okay. All right. For me, it's Lucy Liu.
Wow. Oh, man. That's tremendous. That's such a good call.
She might be 45, but that doesn't matter. For Skylar, he's Googling right now, by the way.
We know he's going to say Kirsten Dunst. I mean, we just know it. That's what he wants to say.
I was going to say Dan Radcliffe. He's just really versatile.
Trans Radcliffe.
Oh, no. So it's funny to me that Kumail co-writes a screenplay with his wife, Emily Gordon, who is a writer in Hollywood. That's her trade. She writes on different TV shows. From what I understand, she's a talented writer, but is not an actress. And so they have to cast her as someone else. And, it's got to be a little bit awkward when you cast someone that's like inarguably more attractive. And there's got to be tension there. I feel like there would be tension.
There has to be. It's funny. I was actually thinking about that. And with that in mind, I cannot remember too many deeply romantic scenes that they have together. I mean, they kiss a couple times, but it's not like overly sexual at all. And I wonder,
there's no sex scenes.
No,
there's nothing like that.
There isn't.
No.
And it's an R.
It
So
is.
could have.
Yeah. Oh, they
it's an
absolutely
R for
could have.
language. Yeah, exactly. And there's no nudity in this film. This make no mistake, that is 100% by design.
Mm-hmm.
At the choice of Emily Gordon, his wife, and co-screenwriter.
I think that was his choice. I think that was actually Kumail putting his foot down.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. He knows. No, I don't know. Maybe he just wasn't comfortable doing it, which I completely understand. His wife was going to be on set every single day, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've heard he's really good in the sack.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't read Emily's autobiography.
No, guys, this is a joke from the movie. Didn't we read the joke from the movie?
It's been a while.
They do it twice. They do the joke twice.
The heckle.
The
joke?
heckle. Oh man.
But she doesn't say it in the sack. She says a different word. So you gotta, yeah.
Well, you.
Oh boy.
Oh, damn it. Sorry. I didn't realize.
Oh.
Damn it. I'm sorry.
Leave those in. This is the Patreon episode. Anyway.
So, for those who are not familiar with The Big Sick, this is a film that is based on true events. It stars comedian Kumail Nanjiani and Zoe Kazan, and then as the parents of Zoe Kazan's character, Ray Romano and Holly Hunter, who I thought were both very good in this film.
Fantastic.
And this film is, for all intents and purposes, a very conventional rom-com. In my opinion, it's much funnier than the average rom-com. It's definitely a very sweet movie.
I think it starts off as a typical rom-com and takes a left turn.
I don't know if it takes a left turn. I mean, every rom-com has this element that has to make it different, and I feel like this was that element.
Well, I mean, like normally, if you look at a rom-com, even like when a character has a coma, like while you were sleeping,
yeah,
and a character falls in love with a different character. Like there's always love happening throughout the film. Like your two main characters who are falling in love throughout the film. If something separates them, then normally a second character is introduced, that then they fall in love. Like it's always something happening. This is the first time where the majority of the film takes place, and one of the characters is completely absent from the film, and he's like falling in love with her parents. Like that's the relationship that's being developed, is him and them, and like I think that's what makes it so unconventional.
It definitely is. I'll definitely agree with that. Now, so a problem with that though is you're not as sympathetic to her character because she's just not in it. Yeah. You only know her basically for the relationship that they develop, but even then, you don't really get a good grasp of who she is really before she falls into the coma. So.
You don't think so?
No, not really.
No, you don't.
I feel like I know a lot of people like her, so that made sense to me. But it could be I'm just way younger than you guys and way cooler. I don't know.
Nope, that's not it.
No, yeah, nope. That's definitely not.
I love you guys. You're the worst.
Yeah, so that's interesting though, because this isn't the first rom-com about interracial marriage or relationships and parents not being okay with it.
It's the second one.
Right? It's the second one, right? It's Guess Who's Coming to Dinner and this one.
Yes. Oh, I thought it was Top 5 was the first one.
Oh, Top 5.
I don't know what. That movie was terrible. I don't know why I'm referencing.
I didn't see Top 5. I don't watch Chris Rock movies.
Oof. It's actually not bad. It's weird.
Is it not? Okay.
But
speaking of not bad, are you downing an entire Simply Apple?
I'm just working on it. Dude, Simply Apple is the truth.
Dude, I've got a Simply Limeade and a Simply Lemonade right there in my
dude, this is 100% apple juice.
Oh, yeah. No, they're delicious. I'm a big fan of the Simply brand.
Yeah, I know people who aren't fans because they're not American made. It's like Brazilian made. But YOLO, I like Brazil.
Nah, Brazil is welcome to my economic
I'm not America
dollars.
First, like Trump.
But speaking of Simply Made, I mean, I feel like this film was pretty simply made. Michael Showalter does not get very showy.
This was like the least Michael Showalter movie possible.
It's absolutely correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I love Michael Showalter, just so we're clear. I think he's a genius. I've listened to every episode of all of his podcasts, and they're all genius. I think that Wet Hot American Summer is just like some of the greatest film and television that's ever been made. He's just a genius.
So with that in mind, didn't that disappoint you that he was kind of stuck in the Judd Apatow box that they put him in?
No, because I'm glad it. Like, did you see They Came Together?
No.
They Came Together was like the last movie I've seen that he directed. Like, I didn't see Hello, My Name Is Doris, if I'm being fair. So I don't know how that was, but They Came Together. Which actually, now that I'm looking at his filmography on IMDb, I guess he didn't direct that.
See, maybe, there you go.
1 second. Why did
so
he
while
direct
you're looking,
Hello, My Name Is Doris? I'm confused.
I don't know. While you're looking that up, though,
okay.
I'm gonna keep going because I really liked the performances of this film. I really liked some of the scenes. I'm a big fan of Kumail's family and who he cast. His brother and his mom and dad it was all very well acted and very convincing. I wish we spent more time with his family and less time with her family. I realized that's not the story they wanted to tell. They wanted to tell the story about the White family, and that's fine. That's what we did.
I think that's
I would have
problematic.
rather spent it with his.
I find that very problematic that they chose
How so?
the white family.
Yeah.
That's part of the white privilege.
Well, but so not to get like in any type of serious racial conversation, but isn't out of the two families, isn't the way more like difficult or insurmountable task here is winning over his family?
Yeah, but it's insurmountable.
No, because
why
they
didn't we
did in
tell
real
that
life.
story?
Well, they did in real life though.
Yeah, exactly. They did in real life. In real life, his family was totally okay with it,
No,
which is weird.
they got married before they actually told his family.
Yeah, but they were okay. They had a Pakistani wedding.
No. Like
They did.
But like his family wasn't there.
They were for the Pakistani wedding.
Remember the pictures
they got
in the end
remarried.
credits?
They literally have pictures in the movie of it.
Where
So I'm
she's-
saying they got remarried then, because
Right.
when they got married,
They
his family
eloped.
didn't
They
know.
eloped, and then they went back and had a Pakistani wedding.
Okay.
And she
But-
and Emily Gordon stole Pakistani valor by wearing the traditional garb.
Yeah, that seemed very appropriation-y, uncomfortable.
Incredibly, let's be honest.
Yeah. Hey, not to segue too hard, but it was David Wayne who did They Came Together, which
Oh, okay.
now I'm
Okay,
feeling like a real
alright,
dumb
That makes
dumb.
perfect sense.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
They're state bros, and like they have very similar sensibilities.
So, but in all seriousness here, because in real life, his parents did become okay with that whole situation, of him marrying Emily. Why didn't they tell that story? That's more interesting to me.
I think I like the idea that she feels this guilt because she's the reason that his family and him can't be together. Like, I think it's a really interesting story that's being told. And like, as someone who is no longer a member of the religion that I was raised in, and that like is a huge part of my family's culture.
Jewish, yeah.
Yeah. I think that resonated with me on a really deep level of like not knowing what's out there and being like, you know what, he had the line like, Islam works great for you guys. It made you great people. And like that's exactly how I feel about my parents. Like they love it and it totally works for them, but like they just cannot fathom why I don't feel part of it at all. And it creates huge tensions in my family, and it's just I mean, not to make it all about that, I think that's where that part of the story is interesting. And if they just came around and were like really cool with it by the end, I don't think that's as interesting of a story. I think the way they went with it is what makes it so cool.
And I think that actually speaks to the relatability of Kumail's story. It's not just the fact that he's a foreigner, a brown-skinned person coming to America. It's also that he's a different religion. So anyone that grew up in these different religions than the mainstream, like you guys specifically, can relate to them. Even though you're white, you can also relate to the struggle that he had being in a deeply religious family.
Also, I could tell that Muslims are human. It was just the darndest thing.
So Ray Romano, I can't think of a film that he's acted in that he was good since, I don't know, Welcome to Mooseport. And that's a joke. That wasn't a good movie. He was good in this.
He's very good. He's very good.
He was incredibly likable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I found myself being like, I want more Ray Romano in my life. And then...
Can you do us a favor, though, and just, like, do his voice real quick?
Yeah. Me or Skylar?
David,
I think
obviously.
No, it's Skylar. Skylar's got
Skylar.
He's got
Right.
the Romano down.
I don't think I have the Romano down. I have more of his brother. Or, like...
All right, David.
Brad Garrett?
David, you do Ray, and then Skylar, you do Brad Garrett.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, ma, wah, bar. Is that...
That's a pretty good Ray Romano.
Uncanny. That is amazing.
And then
right.
I'll do my...
Yeah.
I'm Brad Garrett.
Much deeper than that.
Yeah, a little bit deeper.
Try it one more time. One more time.
Hey, why does everyone like Ray?
I'm Brad Garrett. Yeah,
I'm the
what's-
brother no one ever talks about.
What's the deal with Everybody Loves Raymond? I'm Brad Garrett. Like, my brother is Raymond.
My problem with my Ray Romano is that it'll start to go into Owen Wilson.
Wait.
I'll be like, wow, wow, what's going on here? Wow. And then it becomes Owen. It becomes Owen Wilson.
Well, according to IMDb, Ray Romano played not only Ray Barone on Everybody Loves Raymond, he also played Frank Barone. So I need somebody who watched Everybody Loves Raymond to explain to me how he played 2 different characters on that show.
Well, it was after who was his dad? What actor plays his dad?
Peter Boyle.
Brad
Peter
Garrett.
Boyle. Yeah. Well, after Peter Boyle died, he had to play that role.
Oh, that's sad. Did you guys
Yeah,
ever
it's
see
pretty
the documentary Exporting Raymond?
Yes,
No.
I did. where
It's
they-
excellent.
Everybody Loves Raymond to Russia.
Yeah, it's
And
so
the guy,
good.
The creator of Everybody Loves Raymond is the singularly most Jewish human that's ever lived. Like, Jesus is not nearly as Jewish as this guy. Like,
Yeah, no, you have to see it, David. It's really, really good.
What's it called?
Exporting Raymond.
Yep.
So the creator of Raymond he's taking Everybody Loves Raymond, so it's popular in Russia. But as it turns out, Russians and their sensibilities are very different than that of Long Island Jews and Italians. Like,
Okay.
but no,
I'll check it out.
back to Ray Romano. The best thing he's done since Ice Age. So
Oh, Ice Age Continental Drift.
I was gonna say Collision Course, but
Tokyo Drift. Ice Age
Ice
Tokyo
Age
Drift.
Tokyo Drift. I like that part where the dinosaur drives the car.
Holly Hunter might actually be the MVP of the movie for me. No, his brother
Elastigirl?
Naveed. His brother Naveed.
You loved Naveed, but yeah, I thought
Naveed is
Elastigirl was
great.
really good.
A.D. Bryant was good.
Oh, she was fantastic. And
Bo Burnham, not good.
she had to carry all the weight of those Bo Burnham scenes.
Well, that's what's weird is
Ooh.
that they start making Bo Burnham this character that's very unlikable, like this total jerky, you know. And then
Successful.
it's like, oh, at some point he's just supposed to be a friend of his that's really cool, and we're supposed to like him. And it was like really weird to me. I was like, oh no, he's very unlikable.
It was weird that he got the Montreal gig, and then he kept hanging out with all of them.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, bro, why
Yeah.
are you not in New York
And also,
already?
why get the Bob Saget lookalike to be the dude judging the Montreal gig stuff when you could get Bob Saget?
Who was that actor? It was very confusing why they got that guy.
Yeah, because I thought that would have been hilarious if it were Bob Saget. Like, it's just Bob Saget who's judging them.
Yeah, that
Anyway,
was.
I like this movie, but I've got grievances to air, and I've got to do that now. This is a film that had maybe an interesting and a unique take on rom-com a little bit. I mean, I think it's overstated when we talk about how it's like this whole new take. I mean, we've seen versions of this, maybe not totally in the same way, but like it wasn't that unique. But there were some good jokes and some good humor, and it was a sweet movie. There's no reason on earth that this should be 2 hours and 4 minutes long. I mean, it's literally 34 minutes too long. That's a lot of footage, and it dragged in a couple places for me in a really, really bad way. Never enough to totally fully get me to the point of I don't like this movie. But I remember thinking, like, I've said this in the thread, Bilbo Baggins, he feels like butter spread across too much bread. And this was very good butter spread across like a French loaf of bread. And it felt, in the worst way, so Apatow-y. Like, he came in and was like, guys, let's make this more conventional and let's make this longer. And in the editing room, we err on it stays in the movie rather than taking it out. And that, to me, actually hurt this film.
Yeah, there's without a doubt an Apatow format that they followed in telling the story, and I think it's to the detriment because Apatow had to fit in those acerbic asshole friends that he does in every single Apatow movie, and I think those characters were completely useless. I would have much rather have seen more from the family, but that's Apatow
what more
being
did you
Apatow.
want from the family?
So give me more of the every scene with the family. I felt like was a home run. So just give me more of it. Give me more. You know what's so funny is the scenes where he's meeting up with the girls for the arranged marriages. I was becoming so sympathetic to their arrangements and the plight of the girls along with Kumail that I felt like, why doesn't he end up with one of these girls? They seem really nice. Is that crazy or what?
Well,
No,
have you
it's
guys
not.
seen- Have you guys seen Crazy Ex-Girlfriend?
No.
I'm assuming neither of you have. So the last
Is that an MTV
Girl.
show?
Shut up. It's on the CW. The last girl who comes over, who's like the one who's never been to Pakistan,
Yeah.
yet somehow has an accent that comes and goes.
She was awesome.
Yeah, so she's on Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and they make a huge point of the fact that she's Indian. and not from Pakistan, and like how annoying it is when they do that, like they cast the wrong people, and then to have her play Pakistan, that was very like that was
That's pretty funny.
That was a real bummer for
It's
me.
very insulting, and Kumail should be ashamed of himself.
And I feel a little bit like Kumail should have ended up with her.
Am I nuts or what? Like
You're not nuts. No,
those-
you're not nuts.
Those girls seem incredibly nice. They seem
Guys,
Yeah.
very welcoming.
She
very
hated
welcoming.
X-Files.
Except the X-Files one. The truth is out there. Oh, yeah, that's true. I to Skylar's point, I was out on her when she's like, I watched the first 3 episodes, and it's not even a good show.
Dude,
I was like, okay.
The girl
no.
who was too excited about X-Files, I could have done with a lot more her. You're right. I could have done with like a whole dinner of her.
She was
She
hilarious.
was phenomenal. Although maybe
Yeah.
she was funny because we got so little of her. I don't know.
Maybe,
she was
but
very
she
funny.
was funny. The truth is out there. That was really, really funny.
That was really funny.
No, she was good.
The women bringing over their things with like it's like an application was fantastic.
Yeah.
That was a fun little look into the culture.
Yeah,
it really
no, it was a good
humanized
bit.
Muslims for me.
Thanks, Bill.
What intern at the Ringer writes up those little summaries?
That's so embarrassing that they would think that's a good idea to put in the description of.
Oh, it was so bad.
Of a
They
podcast.
must have rewritten it by now, right?
I bet it's still there.
No, if I had Twitter though, I would just constantly bombard them with that. How problematic it is.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And who was he interviewing?
The
Judd
Apatow.
Apatow.
It was Apatow, right?
Yeah, he wouldn't have said that if it was Kumail.
Yeah.
No.
I know Aaron and I are disagree with Skylar here on it needing to be shorter. I think Skylar loved the runtime.
I could have done with 20 more minutes. Could have been Spider-Man: Homecoming length. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I just never felt like it dragged.
Oh, okay. I think there were 2 specific parts that I felt like it was dragging a little bit, but ultimately it was definitely a refreshing movie. Now, I feel like the love of this movie is being a little bit overstated. I mean, this is the type of movie that if I were to go with my wife to go see as a rom-com, and I was kind of like, oh, what is this? The Big Sick. It's about a rom-com about a girl getting sick and whatever. I would have been like pleasantly surprised by the end. I would have been like, oh, wow, that's actually really good and really funny and really heartwarming, and I really like that movie. But like people going in with a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes makes me very nervous, because this movie, as much as I liked it, like it's a 90 at best. I give it an 84 personally.
Skylar said it was a 90. What'd you say? 98? 99?
Yeah, he said it was
95.
Oh,
higher.
95. 95.
You guys are such jerks.
Well,
What score do you give it, Skylar?
95.
And what do you give it, Aaron?
I would say right around 80 to 82.
Oh, you're even lower than me.
Yeah,
Show
but
me a rom-com that's better than this.
that's the problem. Most of them suck, so I can't really. I don't have an
I think
example.
like if
Re-
it has to be
return to
genre
me-
adjusted.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing. Like, to David's point, my wife, I saw it with her, and she loved it. She absolutely was raving about it. She's still talking about it. So I think that, some people are just going to fall in love with this movie, and I think Skylar's one of them. So,
Yeah.
I think it definitely
No.
played to me in ways that it won't play to everyone. Which, I mean, I acknowledge that it's not like I can't fathom giving this a rotten review.
no.
Like the fact that
No,
there's
no.
3% of critics who are like, oh, this is worse than it is good. I think that's just people hating on movies for people liking it. But at the same time, like, yeah, I get that not everybody's going to give it a 95. Like, if the Metacritic score should be like, probably like a 90. 85 to 90, I think would be fair for like
Okay.
people across the board. But
The last time I heard someone refer to a film as being like a rom-com that surprised them with being how good it was back when Garden State was in theaters.
oh, shut up.
And
I hate
Aaron literally said he went to go see this rom-com with a guy from Scrubs, and it ended up being a little bit better than he was expecting, and that was Garden State.
Still,
remember that?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Garden State is still
Oh,
in my
Aaron.
top 10 of all time.
No, Aaron.
Zach Braff he's easily one of those actors that I will go see anything he's in. I donated to his GoFundMe. I'm hoping.
No, Aaron.
Dude, I will defend Garden State as being something very good in its time. There's these movies that come out that like even Crash, okay? We talk about the Crash being very problematic now. At the time it came out, I remember like Aaron was one that persuaded me to
Loved
go
it.
see it just
Loved
for
it,
the
yep.
ludicrous scenes.
Well, no, I
and I'm
said
not
Terrence
even kidding.
Howard. I was on the Terrence Howard bandwagon
Oh, were ya?
early.
And I remember liking Crash for what it was at the time, because I think people were too afraid to have even a frank conversation. Not to say that the message of the movie is necessarily good or right or true. It has not aged well, and the message of the film does not resonate now, and it feels really weird and not good. But at the time, it did touch a cultural, it hit I don't want to say funny bone, whatever it is. It hit the cultural zeitgeist at the right time and meant something at that time, even though now it feels very cringy. Garden State was that type of movie. The soundtrack was outstanding. You had the Iron and Wine version of a Postal Service song, right? I mean, it was just like, it was very, very hipstery for its time, but in the right way. Now I watch it now and it's not that funny. It's not that good. But at the time it was.
Well,
I wonder if
at that time, Natalie Portman was the hottest name in, she was maybe the hottest female actress at the time. So
yeah, totally. No,
played
absolutely.
a huge part in it. So,
by the way, I just checked out the Metacritic score for this. It has an 87.
that's fair.
So it fell right where you said, yeah.
But that's super duper high.
Yeah, no, it's really high.
That's fair.
Although, don't look at the user score because there's a lot of anti-Muslim stuff in there. So.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Yeah, people.
That's why IMDb shuts down their message boards.
No more
so,
message board on IMDb.
With The Big Sick, it makes me wonder how I don't think The Big Sick will expire in its cultural zeitgeisty way like Garden State did, like Crash did. Yeah, I feel like there's a timelessness to this story, and obviously we can point to existing movies that are kind of similar in the kind of interracial relationships and the families having to deal and with the ramifications of that. So I do feel like this one will stand the test of time better. I just wish that Kumail didn't employ the talents of Judd Apatow.
I don't think it gets made without him though.
This is very true.
Honest.
Yeah, I think Kumail. I heard him talking about this, and he said that Apatow saw him somewhere. I can't remember where now, but basically Apatow saw him either do stand up or he met him at some sort of press junket, and he said he walked up to him and said, "Do you have any movies in mind? If so, call me tomorrow." Basically, and that next day he pitched them the story about him and his wife. So.
Oh wow!
Yeah, because I heard that when Judd first heard about Kumail, he's like, "That story is a movie." And
I believe it. Yeah, I believe it.
So I mean, say what you will about Judd, but he's the reason this is a movie today. And
Yeah.
so flaws and all, it wouldn't have happened without him. So.
I don't know if I totally buy that, but
Well, Judd Apatow gets things made, man.
He
It's
does.
true.
He
It's
does.
Do you think there would be HBO Girls without him? Because there would not.
No.
That doggy could have lived forever in that.
I was gonna say that dog could have actually had a loving home.
Yeah, that's actually the one thing you'll hear about Apatow or people that love him is how generous he is to the stand-up community, how many opportunities he gives these people that were shut out of the industry before. And, so I got to applaud him for that. I don't necessarily like all the decisions he makes. I think that he's way too rigid in his storytelling. But I do appreciate the fact that he's giving us these new characters and new people. He's introducing us to these new stand-ups, especially.
So speaking of stand-ups, one maybe final point I want to make and question I want to ask is, I know that Kumail's roommate was meant to be unfunny. Is that guy in real life unfunny?
No, he's really funny.
Okay.
He's an actor. And
He's a comedian.
He's a comedian.
No?
He is a comedian. He has a podcast.
Yeah,
But
I thought he was a comedian.
so the only thing I've just seen him in acting, like he's doing pretty well for himself in acting. Like,
Oh, okay.
um,
Because I know he has specials. I looked him up in different comedy
I haven't seen
specials.
his specials, but I've just seen him on
Okay.
a bunch of different shows I watch, and he's always a really good little bit player in it. And so
Is he?
He's a working actor. He's doing fine for himself. I
But there's people like T.J. Miller who are good as actors and very terrible at stand-up.
It turns out T.J. Miller is not a comedian.
T.J. Miller thinks he's a comedian.
T.J. Miller thinks a lot of things that turns out to be incorrect.
TJ Miller, he's a voiceover guy, isn't he? That's what he does.
Emoji Movie.
Yeah, Emoji Movie.
Oh god.
Ah.
How did that get made? Who was like, Emoji Movie, that's what we need?
Kids.
Kids were
saying
like that?
Yeah. Oh, you know what's funny is I watched you. You should be watching this stuff, Skylar. You're a father now. You should be watching these cartoons. But I went over to my brother-in-law's house, and his kids were watching the Angry Birds movie.
No,
And,
I'd rather die.
Yeah. So when I first heard about Angry Birds, I'm like, how do you make a movie about this? But the movie, I got to say, it kind of made sense.
Well, wasn't
So I
it
give it
written
to
by... Who wrote that? I think it was written by
This is the guys
Game
that did
of
Lego
Thrones.
movies.
SNL guys.
Yeah. Lord and Miller is who did it.
No, they didn't make Angry Birds.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh, yeah, Catherine Kennedy came in. She sank Angry Birds. Man, I hate her.
No,
I'm
don't
so
hate
mad at
her.
her.
She's the reason why Star Wars is back and why it's good.
You can't hate her. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm doing it right now.
No, don't. No. Then you have to hate Raiders of the Lost Ark and
Take it back.
E.T. and all sorts of things.
Okay, I just made it. Damn it, I hate all those things now. Oh, by the way, the writing credits for Angry Birds. Oh, John Cohen. There are
Hey, there you go.
Many
Coen
Coens.
brother.
There you
One of
go.
the Coen brothers.
One of the fake. Not
The
Eaton.
missing Cohen.
Not Eaton. Cohen. Cohen.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, we're at the 30-minute mark. I'm ready to wrap this up. Any other thoughts on the Big Sick, guys?
Big Sick, more like the Big Dick.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Good one.
That was good, dude. You'd play his roommate real good. That'd be a really good role for you.
My thoughts on The Big Sick are it's a really funny movie. Go check it out on a matinee. You will not be disappointed. I
Yeah.
love Kumail as an actor. Do not care for him as an activist.
Yes.
Hate him as a Twitter poster.
Oh. Follow his movies, but don't follow him on Twitter.
Yeah.
Or run into him in a bar with Thomas Middleditch.
Yes. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. If you have Republican friends and you're out going to the bars with them, don't. If you see Kumail, go away.
And I got to say that Kumail can be a leading man, and I hope that he does get more leading man roles in the future.
That's right.
Yeah, me too.
Who says he can't handle leading man parts?
White Hollywood does.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I say give Kumail all the leading man parts right in the mouth.
All right. Well, vote with your dollars, go see this movie, and that'll give Kumail more leading man parts. So
Right there. In
leading man parts.
you just now got it?
Oh, I get it now. I get it.
The big. Okay.
The big
All right,
dick.
guys.
Okay.
This has been terrific. Thanks. We did 3 little bits today. We got Lowry done.
Very nice.
We got Spider-Man home podding done, and we
Productive.
got the pod sick.
And you guys
So-
haven't even been watching the Lakers play the Kings. It's amazing.
No, I was watching the
Oh,
home run
dude.
derby, bro.
That
Oh yeah, that's right. Did you have an update, Skylar, for the greatest home run derby of all time?
It was pretty anticlimactic, which I mean, I guess you have to expect. But the first round was the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Okay.
First 2 rounds were incredible.
Who won?
Judge.
Who do you think won?
Giancarlo Stanton, probably.
No.
No, Giancarlo Stanton got out in the first round.
Mhm.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Big upset.
And he almost.
Wait, was it?
He almost.
Was
won,
it who
but-
we bet money on?
No.
Who was it? Aaron Judge?
Aaron Judge
It
won.
was Aaron Judge.
He
It was?
dominated.
Dang it.
By the way, it looks like I'm just looking at the game flow for Sacramento Lakers. The Kings were stuck at 40 points. Like the game was tied at like 30-30, and then at one point it was like 65-40,
Beautiful.
and now the Kings are up by 2.
We're up by 2. Yeah, that's because they put De'Aaron Fox back in. This is the thing. So, guys, I have been living in the summer league for like I don't know how many seasons since
is my first
2006. Okay, 11 straight years of living in the summer league, and I got a few pieces of advice. This also applies to any Jazz fans listening that are tuning into the summer league for the first time in a while, and you're getting really excited about Donovan Mitchell. Like, temper your freaking excitement, because the amount of things that happen in the summer league that you can directly apply to the season are so very, very few. Very, very, very few. The only thing that I can guarantee you will correlate from summer league play into NBA play is if a player sucks in summer league, they will suck in the NBA. But if they're good in summer league, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't mean anything.
You know what means something? Every time I hear people say, "Wow, Dennis Smith Jr. should have been a top 5 pick," I get a little bit turned on. And that means something to me.
I can't wait for that to turn out to be the bust that it was, that pick.
It's not a bust. You can't really bust at 9.
Yeah, sure. Oh yeah, that's a lot. If you are in the lottery,
we didn't pick Jimmer.
Oh yeah, I mean he was a bust for sure.
Yeah, but we didn't take a.
We didn't pick
Jim.
We didn't pick Jimmer either. That was Milwaukee. We just traded for him afterwards.
What did you trade? Did you trade down or up?
We traded Beno Udrich and our higher pick for that pick and John Salmons. It's one of the worst trades in Sacramento Kings history. It's really terrible.
Hold on, I'm trying to understand. You guys were trading down.
So get this. So Beno Udrich, who is a better player than John Salmons, okay? We trade him for a worse player and our better pick for a worse pick, right? So better player, better pick, worse player, worse pick. That's the trade we made. It was sense. Like it was the one time that I saw Kings Twitter and their blog Espionation Sacktown Royalty absolutely light on fire. I've never seen that place in such. I mean, and I'm a Kings fan, guys. We've seen a lot of bad times. We hired George Karl recently as a coach and fired him very soon after. We've gone through a lot of DeMarcus Cousins crotch grabbing towards the crowd. We've had a lot of things we've gone through. Nothing was worse than the Jimmer trade, which absolutely set the entire fanhood on fire. And we were so upset. And John Salmons is mostly because we had Salmons 2 seasons prior, and he was the worst. And he was coming back for a player that we liked in Beno. It was just like the worst thing.
Have
and the fact
that pick. What pick did you guys trade back out of? And like, who did they take?
We traded from pick 7 to 10.
Oh, you guys just didn't want to take Jimmer at 7. You thought that'd be.
We didn't want to take Jimmer at 7. That's why.
You still wanted Jimmer.
We still wanted Jimmer. Yeah.
But you couldn't. Oh no, Buddy Hield just had a turnover. Looks like he sucks.
But Buddy is the first team rookie All NBA. So I mean, you can't say anything bad about Buddy right now. He literally is a first team All NBA rookie player.
Worst rookie class
of the top 5 rookies in the league, he is among them. Okay, so you can't really say anything bad about Buddy. He's already proven.
Farrell was
he averaged 15 points and like 5 assists in the second half. I mean, he had a very good rookie season. Yeah, so
and he was traded for DeMarcus Cousins.
Well, and the pick, and we got
which will be what, like a. Oh yeah, what'd you guys get? You guys got the 3rd pick out of it, right? Or no, 5th.
Well,
pick.
So there's the De'Aaron pick, but technically the pick that we got from from New Orleans became 2 people. So we essentially traded DeMarcus Cousins for Buddy Hield, Justin Jackson, and Harry Giles. So all we need is one of those 3 to become a superstar.
Justin Jackson, that was the New Orleans pick?
So it was the number 10 pick that we turned into the 15 and 20.
Justin Jackson was the 15th?
Yeah. Not to be confused with Josh Jackson, who went 4.
Wasn't he also the guy from Dawson's Creek?
That's correct. Yeah, Josh.
The Lakers and Kings are both 0-2 in summer league.
You're thinking of Josh Johnson. Okay. All right. Well, let's go, boys. That's our summer league talk. All 3 of us are lottery teams. We're going to be bound for the lottery again next season, which will be really exciting for all 3 of us.
At least one of us is going to be better than the other 2.
I don't know, Skylar. I think Aaron might sneakily think that his team's not going to be a lottery.
Oh, absolutely. He thinks his team's good.
Well, okay. So lottery, isn't it like the top 12 that are in the lottery?
It's
or
everyone
something?
who doesn't make the playoffs.
Okay, so there you go. We're going to be in that group.
Okay,
but we're not going to be in
the playoffs. You're not making the playoffs.
You're not making.
Dude, nobody's making the playoffs in the West. If you don't have like 5 superstars, you're not making the playoffs in the West anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
Although the Clippers are going to suck now, so that's good.
Oh, I know. That's really good. And so are the Jazz. Ooh, sorry, Jazz fans.
No, I think the Jazz will be. They'll make the
playoffs. No, they'll be better than any of our 3 teams for sure.
Dude, losing Gordon Hayward is not going to be the end of the world.
You know what's funny is I actually agree. I do like. I get why Jazz fans are mad, and they have every right to be. It was such a botched announcement. It was the worst possible way to say you were leaving a team. The worst possible way.
Why did you think that would be better than just releasing the article later?
Just release a statement, or even tweet out, "I'm going to the Celtics." Just say it. Just get it out there.
The only way it could have been worse is if you released that article on the website in Comic Sans.
Dan Gilbert style.
Yeah.
I can't believe Gordon Hayward botched that announcement as badly as he did. That was so bad. And then now they're not doing a sign and trade. He's just going to sign with Boston outright, and so gives Utah nothing. Makes him even more mad. Get this, it is torpedoing Tanner Ainge's campaign for the Congress seat. I'm not kidding you. Because Boston's not only stealing Hayward, but they refuse to do a sign-and trade, giving Utah nothing in return. It kills his son's Senate or his House seat campaign, which is hilarious.
If that influences your vote, you're literally retarded.
No, of course it influences the vote. Are you kidding me? That would influence my vote 100%.
Then you're a freaking retarded person.
No, I'm not. I'm no Daniel Radcliffe.
No, you are. Like, if that literally is like your decision on who's going to be the best person to lead you in Congress is based on who's freaking.
If his dad screwed over my NBA franchise, are you kidding me? I'm a sports fan of
freaking job.
Of course, I'm going to factor that in. Are you kidding me? No. If you're listening to this and you're a Jazz fan, do not vote for Tanner Ainge. His father's a crook and a terrible person.
What makes him a crook? Because he refused his job.
Oh, no. This is crazy. I can't believe this. If he had done this to the Mavs, you would not be voting for him.
Who would they have done this to?
And you vote Republican, too, which is the crazy part. Is you're the most conservative person I know.
Yeah, well, vote
Outside
Republican or die is what I say.
Okay. All right. Let's wrap this up. I'm all done. Thanks for joining, gentlemen. Everyone, go see The Big Sick. If you fall asleep for 30 minutes in the middle, don't worry. Keep watching. You didn't miss anything. And as we say, hold on to your butts.
Thank you for listening to the Brave Little Podcast. Hold on to your butts.